Kings and queens, welcome back to DBD News. Yesterday was a huge day for us. We had the anniversary stream, and in today's video, we are going to be recapping everything and trying to break it down for you guys as quickly as possible. Shout out to our Twitch. We are currently live right now. Would love to see you there. All right, let's jump on into all the news and all the info. There's a lot, so buckle up. First thing first, Funko Pops are announced. Here is a preview of what they are looking like. We're going to be getting some Funko Pops with Wraith, the Doctor, Claudette, and the Huntress. This is going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on them. Moving on forward, Dead by Daylight gave us a various amount of quality of life updates, as well as dates on when we can expect these things to come. So here is what we have in store for you guys. We have preset loadouts, meaning you will be able to preset some perks that you like to use, or even cosmetics. We got to try this out in the PT, and this is estimated to come on June 7th. This means that you can hop into a game, have one preset for one default class, switch on over, do the same thing, switch on over again, and have the same exact thing on the other one, mixing and matching whatever you like. You can do the same for cosmetics as well, which is pretty damn awesome. We're also going to be getting a big main menu update. Not the biggest fan of this personally. To me, it feels like a mobile game, but they said that they needed to conserve some more space, so they decided to make things smaller, and now it's more packed. Next, we have that the anniversary event is going to begin on the 16th of June. This is pretty cool because we're not getting the same old crowns as we always do. Instead, we're going to be getting a Masquerade event. You'll be able to grab yourself 6 different Masquerade masks for Survivor and Killer, 12 in total, along with a brand new tome that will also unlock some new cosmetics for the brand new Survivor and the brand new Killer. This is going to be very different from anything that we've seen before, so hopefully it goes well. Masquerade looks pretty cool as all the masks are unique for each and every individual character. Moving on forward, we finally got some information on the grind and the reduction of the grind and prestiging. This overhaul is expected to come out in the summer of 2022. Here is how it's going to work. Simply put, currently in the game, when you prestige, you lose all your items, lose everything, and the only thing that you achieve is a bloody cosmetic. It doesn't really do too much, and there's no point in prestiging. Now, the way it's going to work, instead of getting your teachables at level 35, 40, and 45, or 30, I should say, 30, 35, 40, instead, every time you prestige, you're going to automatically unlock whatever those 3 unique perks are on that killer on every other killer's tier list, or list. So that is fantastic. Easy peasy. You can unlock it on their loadouts just like that. If you prestige your character yet again to prestige 2, you'll get that perk for tier 2 for every character. And if you get to prestige 3, you will also get it for every character on teachable level 3. Here is the best part about all of this. When you now prestige, you will no longer lose your perks or your items. You will keep everything you have. So there is no reason not to prestige. On top of that, you can also prestige past level 3 to show your devotion towards one character, which is pretty damn awesome. Always refreshing the blood web and getting some more things for them. So you can expect all of this to come out in summer of 2022. Along with that, we're also going to be getting some matchmaking incentives. They spoke about this a very long time ago, and we finally have some new information on matchmaking incentives. Long story short, if the queue times are excessively long and there's an imbalance of killers and survivors in the game, what's going to happen is that whatever side is short on a certain amount of players, they'll offer you 50, maybe 100% more of the blood points if you play that side for a specific amount of time until the queues eventually reset. Now, the only problem I could see is that everybody jumps onto this and then the queues continuously go swing and swing and swing, but we'll have to see how it actually works when it's fully implemented into the game. Moving on forward about things implemented into the game, we got an announcement of Dead by Daylight having a crossover with Attack on Titan. This is pretty cool as it's going to be the first anime, like real anime type of thing coming into Dead by Daylight. We actually got some previews of what some of their adaptations of the skins would look like. They said that they wanted to make this more of a really good cosplay rather than bringing those characters into the game. So on screen, what you're seeing is all of those cosplays essentially, and which are going to come into Dead by Daylight, which is pretty damn awesome. Moving on forward, we got some information for autumn of 2022. RPD is going to be reworked. thank God. They are going to be changing RPD. I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing. I'm assuming they're just going to make it nicer to feel, to play on both sides, and we don't have to feel that it's just a copy and paste and it's just so confusing at every turn. So hopefully they do a good job with that. Speaking of Resident Evil, they announced their next chapter as well. We are going to be getting a brand new Resident Evil chapter, Project W, and I'm sure you can figure out who that is and what's going to come with that chapter. So that is pretty cool. Running it back with Resident Evil, which could be interesting. Obviously Resident Evil gave them their biggest influx in players, so we'll see how this ends up working out, and maybe it does the same thing yet again. Speaking of autumn 2022, we are going to get a archive change. And basically, you will now be able to select your challenges in the archive while searching for a lobby. You also can go to the store, do all of those things, so you're not stuck in the loading screen. You can take a look at your loadout, your perks, you can go to the store, you can go to the archives, etc. On top of that, you will be able to pick one survivor and one killer challenge simultaneously, so you don't have to alternate between the two, which is so fantastic. And now you don't have to worry about, oh my god, did I actually pick a challenge? Oh no, I forgot to pick a challenge, etc. There's also some more things about the archives. I'll leave all the descriptions, by the way, of everything in full detail down below if you want to read it more. Moving on forward, there is also going to be a fully streamer and anonymous mode. This means that you're more than likely not to see the names of anybody in your game whatsoever, which is fantastic for streamers, and if you just don't want to see names that have a cleaner overlay. Finally, after 6 years, we have some news about it, so I'm happy about it. Wiggle skill checks are also going to be fully implemented in autumn of 2022. We are going to see basically the skill checks on wiggling being fully implemented in the game, so say goodbye to spamming those buttons, and if you did like it, sadly, it is going to be removed. I personally liked it toggleable because if somebody didn't like it, they can easily opt out of not using it, but now everyone's going to be using it. Queue times are also going to be looked at in autumn of 2022, and they're going to try to work on it, make it better, etc. So that's nice. There's also a Mori rework coming for Halloween of 2022. So this Mori rework is trying to make Moris feel a lot more natural in the game, and the way they're going to be doing this is that when you're running around, the last survivor's alive, as soon as you knock them down, what happens is you automatically are placed into your final Mori scene. So whoever the last survivor is, you don't necessarily need a 4K, but if they're the last survivor in the trial and you knock them down, automatically your killer will start to Mori that survivor. This way, they wanted to feel natural and you don't have to pick them up and go put them on a hook, and they said that it could be quite nice to make Moris feel less toxic and just part of the game, so that's pretty nice. They also mentioned that in late 2022, there will be bots coming into the game. I am a little cautious with the bots because obviously we have AI bots that are absolutely terrible and are wreaking havoc on Dead by Daylight. So it'll be awesome to see what that actually entails. They said that this is basically just going to be custom bots for Survivor and for Killer. So if you just need to jump into a game, practice something, or if you're like a content creator like myself, you can easily just jump into a game and get some cinematics and some views like that, which is pretty damn awesome. They also mentioned what is probably the biggest thing, a perk overhaul coming with no ETA just yet. Keep watching. With all the meta perks being changed for Survivor and Killer, I'm so happy about it. I waited so long, so long. So 40 perks are going to be changed. They're going to be reworked, and I can go on a long tangent on how they could do this properly, but long story short, all they need to do is to take the really strong meta perks and break them down into 2 perks essentially. For example, Dead Hard. Let's say Dead Hard. Dead Hard gives you a boost as well as invincibility. Change it so that Dead Hard only gives you the invincibility or only gives you the boost. Let's go with the invincibility for this part. 3 seconds, you press the button. In the next 3 seconds, if the killer hits you, you get a free hit. No speed boost, no nothing. You just have your regular thing. Combine that with the perk, I forgot exactly what it's called at the top of my head, but where you get the speed boost after taking a hit, make that buffed up a little. So now what ends up happening, if you run the 2 of them together, you basically have old Dead Hard. You take the hit and you get that speed boost. But now the player who is using 4 meta perks has to sacrifice 2 perk slots to get what they used to have with just one perk. So now you have to make a conscious decision. Do you want that still, or do you not? You then do that for every other perk in the game. Make it so that whatever that strong perk is now is broken down into 2 separate perks, and they synergize together. Once they synergize together, it will create brand new different types of metas, and to make sure they're not super strong, you have to make sure that the 2 perks work together. So you have to look for that synergy that works for your playstyle and your build. Currently in Dead by Daylight, there's just 4 to 5 perks that just work for everybody. You need to make it more unique where it fits your playstyle. So if you want to be stealthy, there's really good stealthy perks, and you can run them with good synergizing perks that will actually help you in the trial rather than just hinder you and just be like, oh, I'll just use this instead. Same thing with Killer. Make perks if you're running gen stopping perks or controlling perks, you know, make sure that they're not overbearing for the survivors. Something like Corrupt Intervention or Pop Goes the Weasel can be broken down into multiple perks, use them to synergize, and then have counters to everybody. You know, we've seen them starting off with that with the new what is it, Shattered whatever it is, where you could actually break the boon totems forever. Give counters rather than actually giving, you know, perks that just help you so much and it's just a meta. So now you're like, okay, if survivors are doing this, maybe I can run this to counter them. So everything comes back to a leveled playing field. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I can go on and on and on about it and how they can do a good job. That's just my quick notes summarized in my head. The final couple things is that Dead by Daylight is having a dating simulator. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm sure it fits a target audience. Not for me personally, but Twitter has just been going absolutely crazy with everything. So if you're into that, congratulations. It's coming out probably in the summer. And I believe that is pretty much it. That is all that we have to talk about. I may have missed a few points here and there, but overall, that is pretty much everything. Honestly, this has been one of the best dev streams that we have in a very long time. They were transparent from the get-go. They gave us dates and ETAs on when things are going to come. They said that they're not going to make empty promises and really try to work on everything this year for us. And they gave us a nice idea of what they're focusing on. So, you know, if you were looking for Dead by Daylight to give you something that will make you come back to the game, if you absolutely hate DBD, you probably won't have that in this. But for the players that are actually still very passionate about the game, we finally have those quality of life changes and some nice balancing to look forward to towards the future. And I think it's something that we all can be happy about. They were transparent, they were honest, and they gave us what they had, and I'm pretty happy with it. You know, we didn't get the same soon TM nonsense, so pretty good. So that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Again, we are live on Twitch right now. Please come on out. We're going to be chilling, having some fun, doing our thing, so make sure you guys do come on out. As always, I'm the king. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.